Hello, we're back and we are going to make the cream or the filling for our cheesecake. This recipe I do write down the measurements because I've done it without writing down measurements before and it doesn't turn out well. So a cheesecake recipe is pretty detailed. You do have to pay a lot of attention to measurements. This is probably the one recipe that is very important to follow exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with that, and I will be giving you those measurements as we go along. We're going to start with 3 cups of soaked cashews. You probably only have to soak the cashews for a couple hours. I was planning on making this cheesecake yesterday, so I had started them soaking, but I didn't quite get to it, so mine ended up soaking overnight. So I'm hoping that it still turns out like I want it to. So we are going to put in 3 cups of soaked cashews, and you want to measure the cashews when they're dry. That's a lot. I measured them when they were dry at 3 cups. And because they soaked overnight, they really puffed up. So I got my fingers crossed that it's going to turn out right. Then we're going to add 1.5 cups of almond milk. We made this almond milk earlier today. If you need the recipe for the almond milk, I did post that recipe. So you can go and look at that. So 1.5 cups almond milk. Then we want 3/4 cup of honey, raw honey, and my mother-in-law is using my smaller jar over there, so I'm going to have to get out this big, huge gallon jug. So we buy this stuff by the gallon from a local beekeeper, and I'm getting honey all over my hands now. If you don't use honey, feel free to use agave, something like that. The agave would probably work fine. It's the same type of a consistency. I personally don't ever use agave. If you watch my other videos, you'll know why. Ariel, can you give me a spoon? And it bothers my stomach and my female organs. It causes me a lot of pain. The agave does. I don't know why, but every time I've tried to eat it at all. In fact, I have a container of raw agave in my cabinet that I refuse to use because it bothers me so much. So we have the 3 cups of cashews, 1.5 cups of almond milk, 3/4 cup of honey. Now we need 1 cup of lemon juice, and let's pause the video so I can wash my hands. Hi, we're back, and I got the honey off my hands. While we were off the camera, we went ahead and started squeezing out some of the lemon juice. I saved 1 piece to show you how we do it. I just cut them in half, put them in here, and squeeze them down. I already have 3 lemons in here. Whoops. I already have 3 lemons in here, and it's only at 1/2 cup. So I think 1 cup of lemon juice is probably too much. So I'm going to alter this recipe a little bit. And in the end, if you're watching it, then that means it turned out good. So if it doesn't turn out right, this video won't even get posted. So I'm going to put 1/2 cup of lemon juice into the blender, and then we want a tablespoon of vanilla, and I am going to use a spoon. So 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I personally like a lot of vanilla. If you do, you can add a little more vanilla. That's probably okay. We want 1/4 teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt. I will grab a spoon, and we want 1/4 of a teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt. And then I'm gonna blend this, and then we have 2 more ingredients to add. And we'll get to that in just a minute. The 2 other ingredients are what is gonna solidify the batter. So let's blend this up. Lovely tempering thing. It's gonna be in the second jar. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna start blending again. And you always want to have this down all the way when you first start the blender, otherwise it might shoot up at you. Okay, so I'm just going to set that to the side, and what we're going to add now is 3/4 cup of organic virgin coconut oil. You can use whatever brand you like. We got this at Trader Joe's. And we want 3/4 of a cup of coconut oil. This will help to solidify the mixture so that it takes the shape or the form of a cheesecake and doesn't just melt out everywhere. The other thing that we're going to put in is, I think this is called lectin. I don't know. If you can zoom in on this. I've been told that this is a raw, it says right on it that it is a raw natural product. So we want to put in 3 tablespoons of this. This product will solidify recipes that you need solidified, but you never want to put this in until right at the end. If you put it in too early, your mixture will get extremely thick. So we are going to put 3 tablespoons of this, and again, you only want to put it in at the end. Alright, so 3 tablespoons it is. This stuff is extremely sticky. Ariel's really good at washing this spoon. It gets real sticky on my hands. Good thing about having 6 kids is you have lots of help. So we're going to go ahead and mix this up again. Okay, you want to make sure you get that mixed real well so that that lectin and that coconut oil is all through that mixture. Otherwise, parts of the cake will solidify and other parts won't. So, now you want to take the temper out. Ariel usually likes to lick this, but my mother-in-law has made tons of yummy, what are they called? Smoothies. And we've been tasting them, and Ariel is super full. So, ooh, that tastes good. This texture actually looks really good, so I'm expecting this to turn out. Again, I usually play with recipes a lot, and so I kind of know how the texture should be, if it's going to solidify correctly. And then what you want to do is just pour it in. And this one looks like it is going to solidify excellently. So let's hope that is true. And Ariel, I need another spoon. Maybe after I do about, I don't know, 100 videos, I'll remember to get all my equipment. Either that, or maybe I do it on purpose just to get them to come into the camera. They act shy and they pretend they don't want to be in it, But when they know that a video went up that had them in it, they watch it, oh, I don't know, about 15, 20 times a day. Alright, so I usually just kind of go like this. Stir it up. And here is what it, can't really turn it. If I go like this, you want to pick up the camera and just. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the freezer for probably about 3 to 4 hours, and then we will come back and show you how to put the caramel and the chocolate and the nuts, and we're going to have a turtle cheesecake.